Morning, YouTube. It's Sunday, November 20th, 2022, 6:15 a.m. I'm assuming this is the Marvin Tabernacle Choir on the radio on KTAR. There's a button on here that tells me what station it's on instead of the clock. Yeah, 92.3 FM. So I actually used to listen to this every Sunday morning when I was a lime juicer, because I'd usually be up at this time of the morning dropping off limes that were fully charged. Found it a nice, pleasant change from everything else I listened to throughout the week. I love the sound of a pipe organ. Can't really explain why, I just do. It's the only time I ever hear a pipe organ on the radio. So I went to the Smashing Pumpkins concert, and it was very good. Priscilla upset me so much later that night that I just left her place on foot, but that's a separate tragedy. I also sat down on my Obamaphone during the show at some point and absolutely destroyed its screen. It's still working. The phone itself is kind of bent. Hopefully, I don't know what I can do about it. It's had a cracked screen for a while, just like a couple of minor cracks in it, and a couple of repair shops that I've asked about it are just like, yeah, I can't get it. Nobody makes a screen for that. You can't replace the screen on that. That's just a disposable phone. You throw it away. But yeah, I don't think that's really an option for me. So right now, pretty much my entire YouTube channel goes through that phone. I don't know the login to this Google account, and all my attempts to recover it have failed. That phone is logged into it. I don't remember exactly how I accomplished it. Oh, this is fun. Check this out. Apparently, somebody took it into their own hands to fix this really big pothole here, and just stuck a cinder block with some caution tape across from the wall to try to keep people from driving over it while it dries. Hopefully it's an improvement. Yeah, obviously the city had no desire to come fix that. So nice to see somebody actually took it upon themselves. Some citizen, somebody who lives along this block, took it upon themselves to take care of it. So so yeah, it's Sunday morning. Today is the day that I have my party that I'm doing at Cafe Monarch. I did talk to the owner for a while in between. So there were two opening acts for the Smashing Pumpkins. There was Jane's Addiction, who was absolutely excellent, and had three like burlesque type dancers dancing during their show. That was pretty hot. I wish we weren't in the nosebleed seats and I could have seen them better. I can't believe Priscilla bought these tickets. They're like, chose these seats. They're absolutely the worst seats I have ever had in the venue formerly known as America West Arena. It's now called Footprint Center, and it's had several names over the years, and I can't really remember them all. I hate corporate naming of venues and the constant changing of the names. It really messes me up. Changes of names in general. Once something is named, it should be a forever commitment. Anyway, shit, I should have turned right there. Anyway, yeah, we were way in the back on the side, like right where there's like a 45-degree bend in the wall, where it goes from being diagonal, at a diagonal between like the very back wall and the side wall, and we were maybe about two seats away from that corner on the side wall. So all the way in the very back, and literally at the very back row against the wall. The positive of that was that at least I could stand up. There was not a lot of people back there, and at least I could stand up and dance on the stuff where I felt motivated by the music to do so without feeling like I was being an asshole blocking somebody else's view. So that was pretty cool. The show was great, and I'm thankful she got the tickets. My phone is not focusing for shit this morning. This iPhone is just terrible for shooting driving videos when it's dark. Anyway, yeah, it was so far away I really couldn't. I mean, I could see the stage. The stage is big, but I couldn't make out anything that was actually going on the stage, unless I took my iPhone and I aimed its camera at it, and then used the digital zoom to bring everything out. I think it has like a 6x, might even be 8x digital zoom on the iPhone 7 Plus. Anyway, if I took it to its largest setting, it would, by that time using that much digital zoom, like it was blurry, but I could at least see what was happening on the stage. So I could see that those were in fact burlesque dancers and kind of see what they were doing. At first it was hard to tell if they had clothes on or not, but eventually I could kind of see that, oh yeah, they've got like little swimsuits, like one-piece swimsuit type things on. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't make out, the actual people on stage. I could just tell that they were people on stage by doing that. And that's, only if I held the screen up to my left eye. My right eye just doesn't have that good, doesn't have good enough vision to even do that anymore. Anyway, music was good. Really enjoyed the music. The opening act before Jane's Addiction was Poppy, whom I'd never heard of. I found her very interesting. She's kind of struck me as, what would happen if Trent Reznor and Lady Gaga had a love child. And the music was very much avant-garde pop, but very electronic. And then she but like sometimes she got really heavy. Like she'd go from just kind of singing all sweet and sappy kind of pop sounding to just straight up screaming, which was kind of interesting. And then the sometimes the music would be really heavy, like almost metal, and sometimes it was most of the time it had kind of an industrial sound, very electronic. Anyway, definitely different. Pretty short set. Priscilla brought me one of her CD. I guess she had one CD for sale. She bought one for her, bought one for me, but left it. I left mine at her place when I got frustrated and left later that night. Yeah, I'm so frustrated with her. There's not even words. Anyway, I'm going inside Walmart right now. I've been pretty much at my place since 2:30 in the morning, going through just all the piles of crap, trying to find a cable that goes from 1/8" stereo to RCA, to 2 RCA male plugs, or in the alternative one that goes to 2 female plugs. I know I might have a couple of those, but yeah, I haven't been able to find any, and it's really frustrating because I know I have a bunch of those. I mean, I know I have at least 2 that are like really premium quality ones that I bought from Monoprice. They're like heavily shielded and really nice, but the mess in my bedroom has just got to the point where I just absolutely couldn't find them. And in looking for them, I found quite a few things that have been kind of just destroyed by other things kind of landing on them and piling on them, and just the whole mess that is my bedroom at this point. Have no idea where my daughter is. She's been gone all night since I got home from the bar at about 2:30 in the morning. Didn't tell me where she's going. She still hasn't got her car back. It's pretty much messed up from the accident, although she thinks she's going to have it within the next week. Apparently has the money to take care of the repairs, or Rob is working something out with her. I don't know. I really don't know. She's made it pretty clear that she's entirely too good to go anywhere on the bus and has no intentions of looking for a job, but she made it sound like she plans on returning to Oregon next week. Now, she drove down here, so I don't know how she's planning on getting back to Oregon. She hasn't really stated that. I guess she's assuming her car will be fixed, so hopefully that works out for her. Yeah, she's still made, it's frustrated me a lot today. I was telling her about how I've been going through the 8 tracks that Heather gave me, and really finding some great stuff in there. And some of those tapes, finding quite a few tapes that don't need repair, that have perfectly good pads and splices and are just playing just fine and sound really good. In fact, I've listened to 3 of them since I've been home. An REO Speedwagon album. I forget the name of which album, but it's the one with Back on the Road Again on it, which is such a great song. The rest of the album, really good. Enjoyed that one. And I don't think I've ever owned that particular REO Speedwagon album before, which is odd. I mean, I've been into REO Speedwagon since I was a kid, and I've owned many of their albums on many formats over the years, but yeah, I don't think I've ever actually owned this particular one. I mean, the cover art is kind of interesting. It's in fact, I think the album's called 9 Lives, and the cover art features it's a drawing. It's not a photo, but basically artistic, kind of cartoonish rendering of the band in kind of like a rehearsal space, I guess, and very stripper-esque women in cat suits, kind of cozying up to them. It's definitely kind of a sexual kind of cover, but yeah, really cool artwork on the cover. Kind of makes me wish I had it on vinyl as opposed to 8-track, but the 8-track sounded really good. Minor dropout at one point in the tape where it just drops out for just the tiniest moment. Other than that, it sounded great from beginning to end. And also listened to Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush, which I think I mentioned before. Well, I did the video when I was on my way out to Flagstaff, where I went through all those 8-track tapes. And I'll try to remember to link that to here as well. But yeah, it went... oh, wow, both doors are open at Walmart. I didn't expect this door to be open. So yeah, listen to that one. I actually listened to that one all the way twice. It's a good bluesy rock live album. And I do have it on CD, but yeah, the 8-track was quite cool. Now, I do appreciate that they kind of kept the continuity of the concert intact, as opposed to breaking it into segments and rearranging it to try to accommodate the sequencing of 8-track. At the places where it changes programs, it just kind of fades out real quick. You hear the programs click, and then it fades right back up where you left off, which granted is, not optimal, but if I don't want to put up with that, I can always listen to the damn CD, right? But yeah, I don't know. I didn't find it distracting. I mean, generally, by the time I put in an 8-track tape, I'm kind of mentally prepared for that, and it just jumped back into the music so quick, the way that they sequenced it, that it was about as unobtrusive as it could be. But yeah, that concert sounded good. I haven't played that in a while, so yeah, I enjoyed that. Already got all those cataloged on on Discogs. In fact, as I was going through 8-tracks, even the ones that I found that needed repair, I went ahead and cataloged them on my Discogs and just noted that they needed new pads. And I've got a cube in one of my IKEA shelves in my bedroom specifically for 8-track tapes that need repair, that I feel are okay to good titles, which generally I pull for when I'm in the mood for and have the time for repairing 8-track tapes. And oh wow, that sign at the Children's Dental Land is all kinds of messed up. Look at that. Or is it? I'm not quite sure what the heck that's supposed to be. Anyway, looks weird. Now there was one, remember I cataloged, there's one I went to catalog, and the 8-track variant I have is dramatically different from any of the ones that are already on Discogs, and I just don't really feel up to taking photographs and working on Discogs listings at the moment, like editing and creating new Discogs listings at the moment. I did that quite a bit during the pandemic, and I really enjoyed it. It helped me pass the time of being stuck at home with all the bars closed and not really having any work. But it's been a while since I've done it, so I'd be kind of unfamiliar with how to do it, and just didn't feel up to trying to figure that out this morning. So yeah, the Roy Clark, it was a Roy Clark best of. That particular one I just went ahead and put on the shelf, didn't catalog it. But the other ones I pulled out today, I cataloged that I didn't have. And then the last one I listened to, actually I was in the process of listening to it when I headed out before I started recording this video, is I'm pretty sure it's a RCA Record Club release of Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. And I absolutely love that album. Haven't listened to that in a while, so just totally grooving on that. And that's one of those albums I just absolutely love from beginning to end. Every single song on it is good in my book, especially the long version of Fly Like an Eagle with its intro and outro intact, which is not the version you usually hear on the radio. It's kind of cool hearing the full length of that, as well as I listened to, I want to say probably the second half of program 4 and then the first half of program 1 before I decided to head out. And I'm trying to remember what all songs I heard. I definitely remember hearing Wild Mountain Honey. I haven't heard that song in a while, and that was that's a good groove. Anyway, I should probably wrap this up. I am just walking in circles around the Walmart right now, probably looking suspicious as fuck to security. I love how walking from the sidewalk here, there's no walkway. You either walk in the road where cars can hit you, or you walk in gravel. It's a good sign of just how much Phoenix hates you if you're a pedestrian. Pedestrians are definitely an afterthought here, even though there's, pretty much the people that walk are mostly homeless. That just kind of is what it is. But anyway, but yeah, so I almost didn't end up going to the concert. So I worked on stuff a little bit after my last video. I worked on stuff a little bit over at Bullocks. I ended up just adding one song, the karaoke, because I realized I spent quite a bit of time just socializing with some friends that were there, and had breakfast, and just, I don't know, I just wasn't in the mindset to really work on music. But I did add a song that I purchased on Thursday from karaoke version, that I also sang on Thursday and really enjoyed singing. Spring Love by Stevie B. I also downloaded a version of it from a YouTube channel claiming to be Stevie B Official. It was a slightly different arrangement of the song than the version that the karaoke version is based on. To be honest, the version as it is on the karaoke version is more the way I remember the arrangement of the song, but it's been a long time since I've heard that song. Now, I mean, keep in mind, that was a dance song, very much a dance song, freestyle dance song that came out in 1988. So it was very, very normal for that genre of music back then to have 2 or 3 different versions on the 12-inch single and a completely different version on the 7-inch single, which was probably also the same thing that would be on the cassette single, and then also have a completely different version on the album. So I didn't. I figured it sure seemed like when I sang it and listened to it, it seemed pretty accurate to how I remember the song. So I went ahead and added the karaoke version, even though I wasn't able to find an MP3 that went along with it. And for the MP3 that I made from the file that I downloaded, I just went ahead and kept that the same. I went ahead and made an MP3 of it. Like it sounded good. And I just left the intention left the ID3 tag kind of vague, with just the artist and title and year. I was going to put the album name in and what track number it was from the album. Then I'm thinking, I have no way of knowing if this is the version from the album or not. Like the time, the length lines up, but I really don't feel like I have enough information to feel 100% positive to put that information in my ID3 tag. So yeah, left that blank. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got done working on music, aside from a few more downloads and putting a few more backup karaoke files away into their appropriate folders. Yeah, when I was heading home, I was getting super tired while I was there, and kind of thinking to myself, and I kind of figured that was going to happen. It seems like lately I'm just tired all the time, and don't get much sleep. It feels like most of the time I'm just working all the time, so there's that. Or commuting to and from work, which is kind of like working, but I don't get paid for it. I think what I did after. Oh, so anyway, as I was driving home, and the traffic was pretty fucking miserable as I was driving home from Bullocks. Priscilla called, and I wasn't vlogging just because I felt I really needed my iPhone traffic view to kind of see where the traffic was and where to be. At least over here, there's a actual walk path. Oh, the guy's gonna stop for me. Nice. Here's an actual pedestrian pathway to the strip mall. Anyway, thinking very clear lately. Oh yeah, so I was using my traffic view, and she called, and I managed to answer it, put her on speakerphone, because it's otherwise very difficult to answer my iPhone, when it's in the phone holder on my windshield. And I was talking to her, and I don't remember much of the conversation. I just remember it being very frustrating, and her commenting that I was tired, and she asked me to come take a nap at her place, which I told her I really didn't feel like doing that because her bed is incredibly uncomfortable to me. I don't know how to get her to actually understand that I find her bed uncomfortable to the point that unless she is naked and up against me in the bed, I have zero desire to be in it. I'm not comfortable sleeping there at all. I just as soon rather be in my own bed. I just no, absolutely not. I mean, if she wanted to do that in the time period between when I got there and the show, that would be different. But just no, I don't want to come to your bed and take a nap. It's not comfortable. She's got this like quilt, I don't know, it's like blanket thing that she made with some kind of like super thick yarn, and I mean super thick as in it's, I want to say the yarn, it's like some kind of a weird yarn stuff that's like I want to say 3/4 of an inch thick, like each thread. And I remember she spent months putting this stupid thing together with these giant weird looking knitting needles. And I mean, okay, it's neat. I mean, I'm not gonna discount her for things that she enjoys making and doing, but she insists on keeping it on her bed, and the thing is just so incredibly heavy that it feels like I can't lay down underneath it, because wherever it's on, it's so heavy. It feels like a small child is just sitting on my legs when she's always got it down, and I just, I mean, okay, it's her blanket, it's her bed, whatever, but as long as that thing's on her bed, she can't expect me to want to be in her bed, and I've told her how uncomfortable it makes me, and just no consideration for that. So anyway, Old Brass Rail is open. I used to love going there for breakfast, but they've raised the price on their breakfast so much it's just not appealing anymore. Anyway, she so I don't know, she's like trying to have a conversation with me, and I'm just tired. Like, I absolutely just don't feel like talking, and I guess that's why I'm not so fond of people calling over texting. Send me a text and I'll text you back when I'm ready and have something to say, but hit me with a phone call, and sometimes I just have absolutely nothing to say. Like, and on top of that, like, I'm driving. My focus is on driving, and I'm tired, and I'm driving. So anyway, I wasn't saying anything. She ended up hanging up on me. And mind you, like, I don't even know how to end a call when it's in the speakerphone mode while the traffic view is going on Google Maps. Because like to answer the call, it comes up in a pop-up, and then I hit like a green button, and then right next to it there's a button with like speaker icon. So I hit that, and then I hit that, and it puts it in speakerphone mode. But then once that happens, it just goes back to the full screen mapping app that shows me the traffic. I don't know what I need to do to end the call, and I'm not trying to figure that out while I'm driving. So anyway, she ends up hanging up on me, and then shortly thereafter she sends me a text message saying, which I couldn't read the text message because again it just kind of pops up while I'm driving, and it's in a font that's too small for me to see while I'm driving, and then kind of disappears off the screen. So, and mind you, by the time that text message came through, I want to say I was at about, I don't know, I was going down Roosevelt just to avoid the gridlock that was on I-10. And at that point she went to, at that point I was on Roosevelt. I want to say that I was passing, I don't know, somewhere between, at that point it's probably somewhere between like 24th Street and 32nd Street. And I totally was going to turn left on 24th Street to get to the 202, because the 202 didn't have that kind of traffic. But the 202 didn't have that kind of traffic, but the left turn lane from eastbound Roosevelt over to right, motorcycle on the sidewalk. Good times. Motorcycle going down the walkway between the one part of the strip mall and the ice skating rink. That's even better. I got a motorcycle, I can ride where I want. See if this guy's really riding through there. Parked it over there. Good times. Anyway, so she hung up, and then the text message came like shortly after, Couldn't turn left. Well, I mean, I guess I could have, but I didn't turn left onto 24th Street to go up to Loop 202 from Roosevelt because there was a very, very long backup in the left turn lane. So I just kept driving on, Roosevelt to 32nd Street. Took 32nd Street. It was somewhere in that little stretch where the text message came through, and then anyway, I just went straight home. I looked at it when I got home. I did take the 202 from 32nd Street to the exit for McDowell, which connects with the 143. This is interesting. There's a vacant space in the strip mall here that's set up really nice inside. Like hardwood floors, all polished up nice. And I don't recall what business used to be in this spot here. GameStop, amazingly, still in business. I don't recall what that was there next to GameStop. There's a new little medical office here, Oak Street Health, AARP. That's definitely open within the last year or so. Yeah, this is part of the strip mall over here at the shopping center formerly known as Tower Plaza. It's kind of been hanging by a thread lately. A lot of vacancies there since 2020. Although this is new here, Coinless Laundry, another Coinless Laundry location, which I'm pretty sure I got my Coinless Laundry card in my pocket. Should really be working on laundry right now. I'm really running out of clean clothes, and I've been out of clean socks for a while, and at least ones that match. And yeah, it's just so much. I don't know. Just the thought of doing laundry has just been so unappealing to me lately, and it's so time-consuming. You know, it just seems like I never had that much time to do anything other than sleep and work. It's brand new Coinless Laundry. I've been meaning to come by here. This one isn't even on Google Maps yet, so I can't check their hour. So at least now I'm walking by here, I can look at that. Sure, we've got a lot of blinking neon lights there. Dang. LED lights. Right, things that blink like that. 3-load special, 30-pound washers, Friday and Saturday all day. All right, so yesterday and the day before, not today. Thanksgiving Day, open regular hours. All right, well, it looks like I found myself something to do on Thanksgiving. That's a good thing. Kind of was expecting I would spend all of Thanksgiving at home alone, just being depressed as fuck. Since Amazon's not open, you know, the regular full shift. Yeah, I mean, getting holidays off is great for people who have families, but for those of us who really don't, it's just makes it all that more painfully depressing of a reminder that we're alone, you know, and you know, small wonder that the suicide rates go up so much higher during the holiday season. This is kind of nice. At least we got a walkway from this part of the shopping center over to the sidewalk. Yeah, it's definitely one thing that makes, you know, cities not walkable is just the giant mass of parking between the sidewalks and the businesses on the streets that have the sidewalks. It's really clear that, you know, they don't expect anybody to actually walk to these businesses. It's not like I live in suburbia either. I mean, this is a very centrally located part of Phoenix that I'm in. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so yeah, I got home. I really don't know what time it was. It was honestly only probably about an hour and a half before whatever time we need to leave for the concert. And I looked at the text message from Priscilla, and it said, dang, I wish it was on the other phone so I could read it on that. It's on this is the iPhone. Right, another shopping cart at the bus stop. Good times. And another shopping cart at the bus stop. Although it's entirely possible somebody used this to get the groceries from Walmart to the bus. It's kind of shitty how the bus stop is so damn far from the Walmart. Wonder what it would be like if instead of these businesses being so far back from the street, if they actually put the businesses adjacent to the street with the entrances, you know, by the bus stops and by the sidewalks, and then put the parking lots behind the businesses with doors that also enter into the parking lot. Seems like that would be a nice arrangement that would make the world a little less hostile for those who walk and use public transit. Anyway, just a thought. Although it seems like the few businesses that are arranged like that, seems like those businesses generally always keep the doors that are facing the sidewalk locked and have signs in those doors that say entrance and rear. So yeah, I'm sure that's probably what Walmart would do. Yeah, I don't know what the hell this is, but it looks dangerous. Oh yeah, those metal edges are sharp, real sharp. Damn, I think they'd try to get rid of that. Something. It's like a bit of a liability. Fall on that and hurt themselves bad. Alright. It's like Cactus asphalt. So got their now hiring signs all over the place. Oh, speaking of people that need to pay attention to now hiring signs, I just saw the latest video from Phoenix Homeless, Adam Gilligan, and talking about how the way he describes this place he's living, which looks like a nice place. I mean, he's inside a really gorgeous kitchen. He's talking about how he can't go anywhere, and all I could think is he's describing how, like, well, he can't leave, he's not allowed to leave, but if he goes somewhere, like, he has to go with the staff from the place, and the more he described it, the more I kept thinking to myself, holy shit, that sounds like prison. But at least in prison you're allowed to have visitors, and in prison there's a lot of different programs and things to do, way more than what he says this place has. So I don't know. If I was him, I would have stayed at the place in Parker. At least there he had, you know, freedom of mobility. And the only thing he was complaining about was that it was too hot when he was there. But I mean, I'm sure that's not a problem now. It's cooled down in Phoenix. I'm sure it's cooled down even more in Parker. Well, this is interesting. Now here's a sidewalk that goes to the strip mall in the front and comes all the way to here. It has like a ramp for wheelchairs, but no connectivity to the sidewalk. No connectivity to the sidewalk. Oh, and Phoenix loves these. And then we've got this little wall here. I mean, you can get up and over it, obviously not in a wheelchair, but it's annoying to climb up and over these walls to get to the sidewalk. Like, you know, these walls make things so inhospitable to people who walk. Like, let's put in addition, as if the mammoth sea of parking wasn't an annoying enough a barrier when you're walking to get to businesses. Let's put a little wall that you have to climb over in the way as well. Yeah, that's so helpful. Even though there's otherwise a sidewalk, otherwise there's a nice pedestrian walkway to get you to the street here. Shit makes no sense to me. Anyway, text message from Priscilla said something along the lines of, well, it says, well, go ahead and get some sleep. I'll just sell the other ticket. I'll just sell the other ticket to someone. I think it's all it says. Go ahead and get some sleep. I'll just sell the other ticket to someone. And, you know, to which I responded, like, yeah, sleep will feel good, and maybe if I'm lucky, I won't wake up. Which kind of sums up how I've been feeling a lot most of the time lately. Like, it's just so hard to get to sleep, and I just have very little desire to wake up. You know, it's like, oh, time to get up and go to work. Yay. All right, I'm home. Maybe I can try to sleep. So later I can get up and go back to work. Yeah, it's pretty much my life. Maybe if I'm lucky, I might actually see my daughter, and she'll just be sitting on the couch playing with her cell phone, or maybe talking on her cell phone, or maybe watching some kind of streaming content on my TV. But in the entire time that she's been there, she's been at my place for, I want to say, about two and a half weeks. I don't know, maybe it's coming on 3 weeks. I don't know. Every day, every week's just kind of a blur. It's hard to tell one for another without actually going through my vlogs to try to remember when things happen. But she, oh, I like her hair. Yeah, since she's been there, she's absolutely made zero effort to, like, I straightened things up in Lily's room so she'd have a room to be on, but she doesn't really use that. She keeps crashing out on my couch, which of course makes it to where I can't really use my couch, which was one of the main reasons that I kicked Priscilla out. Yeah, yeah, has made zero effort to do any kind of cleaning, not only in the room that she's staying in. She has been a little bit better about not leaving her trash on the floor, because I kind of called her out on that. It's like, you know, hey, she bought like a big bag of Doritos instead of like a single serving bag of Doritos. And I'm like, well, don't leave that sitting on the couch open. You know, either if you don't finish it, you need to close the bag and seal it up, put it somewhere. Don't leave it on the couch. I also kind of called her out on throwing her empty chip bags on the floor. Anyway, yeah, since she's been there like 2.5 weeks, she's made absolutely no effort to do any cleaning whatsoever in my place. Yeah, just nothing. Like, you know, and I guess kind of a shit test on her of like, I've deliberately been making a point, even when I've had a couple moments to do it, not to change the cat box out, not to clean the cat box. And the cat box is fucking disgusting right now. It reeks. And I figure Allison does not have a job. Now she doesn't even have a car, so she can't even leave, like, unless she takes a bus, which she's made it very clear she's too good to take a bus, or somebody comes and gets her. So just literally no obligations. Like, she's just pretty much just staying at my place. And apparently she likes the smell of the cat box, because when she walks in to use the bathroom, it's right there, and she can see that right next to the cat box is there's like a half full bag of cat litter right there. Everything needed to change it out is just right there. Like, she could do it. But of course, you know, she's not interested in doing as much as even changing the cat box, let alone actually, you know, cleaning anything that she could clean. So I don't know, probably makes me a really shitty parent at this point, but I'm just kind of waiting for her to decide that she hates it there and leave at this point. Her being there hasn't really added anything positive to my life, and it's just added a whole lot of additional frustration and stress, with it being, you know, with her making it really clear that the only things that she looks at as reasonable options for employment is to try to be a fucking titty dancer, stripper, or to be to work for food delivery apps. But of course she can't do that now because she wrecked a car. And at least I kind of get her point where she said, well, there's no point in me getting a job, an actual job with a schedule and stuff, when I'm looking to go back to Oregon in a week. And I'm like, okay, kind of curious to see how this works out, because I'm pretty skeptical about her getting her car fixed within the week. And I'm also kind of doubtful that she has the money for airfare to get back to Oregon, but I guess we'll see. And of course that again falls on me being a really shitty father, because I guess if I was a better father I'd be able to provide these things for her, but I really can't. So, anyway, on that note, it's been a long night of, I can't believe I wasted 45 minutes on this. It's been a long night of not being able to find a 1/8" to 8 cord that goes from 1/8" plug to RCA plugs, even though I know I have tons of them. So surely Walmart has one. Walmart's open, so I'm going to go in and get one. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rambling. I did have more to say about what went down with Priscilla and I, and what I did last night and today, but I just don't really have the energy to speak anymore.